We're in trouble in America. We're losing our moral bearings. We're losing our respect for the rule of law. And you look around America today and things are bad and they're getting worse. We're broke. We're dispirited. We're scared. We've been moving closer and closer to socialism, further away from God, the Constitution, doing what's right in our own eyes, and all the while, not noticing that it's killing us. It's killing our nation.
Just beginning.
Americans tend to be too comfortable, slowly but surely turning their backs on the sacrifices their forefathers made for liberty. Why is that? As bad as it is, as horrible as it seems, as unlikely as it appears that we can escape, what we're going through can actually be a vitally necessary experience for us, and one that is ultimately very healthy and liberating for this country. The truth needs to be told in all the dark places, because it's the truth that sets us free.
WorldNet Daily is live on the air. It's November 15, 2024. It's the Friday show. Welcome, everybody. It is an American mandate. This week has been incredible. 10 days after Donald Trump's election, voters have sent him to Washington, and he is bringing the cavalry. It is fast and furious, and the deep state and the media and everybody in between are freaking out. And we're gonna get into that. But I love the Friday show because we get to have some fun. We can have fun every day, right, Josh? But I think today absolutely. It just feels like it's always way more fun to do it on a Friday.
Yeah. It feels great, Matt. What a time to be alive, everybody. What a time to be alive. I mean, my gosh.
Incredible. So before we get into it, though, Josh, we got to let everybody know about Uncharted Supply, the survival system, because after every single survival situation, 95% of survival situations are resolved within 72 hours.
Yeah.
Which means you need 72 hours of gear. And
Matt, if we, sorry to interrupt the read, if we were ever in uncharted territory, it is right now.
It is right now. Yes, the owners of Uncharted have certainly chosen the perfect name. But check out this kit, Josh. Look at this kit. This is the 72-hour kit. This is the survival system.
There you go.
The 72 survival system. Hit that QR code. Put in an order for this. This is the kit. It opens up and you've got all these different supplies in here to get you through the first 72 hours. Now, everything you see here may be upgraded every now and again by the company because they're always out there sourcing new materials and new tools for survival. So what you see here may not be exactly what you see in your kit, but be rest assured that what is in there will get you through the 72 hours. So scan that QR code, hit the link in the description, and get yourself over to Uncharted Supply Company. All right, we've got a banger of a show here. Charlie, do we have this tweet from Charlie Kirk? You guys pulled this tweet up. This is Charlie Kirk saying talking about the dream team. He said for the Trump coalition, the president is pitching a perfect game. This is what Charlie Kirk said. Maha gets RFK at HHS. The Libertarians get Tulsi over at DNI. And then the base gets Gates, Hegseth, and Homan. And the Peace Through Projecting crowd gets Rubio as Secretary of State and Stefanik at the UN. Promises made, promises kept. And Josh, I can't imagine what else is coming. I mean, there are still some positions out there that are still yet to be filled or at least announced. What do you think so far this week?
I mean, dude, like I overheard some folks last night, kind of nervously talking about, oh my goodness, Matt Gaetz, this and that, this media lie, that media lie, or he's a bad guy. Anything that disturbs the left like this can't be bad. It can't be bad. They're freaking out. Is he qualified? The last person qualified that Trump brought on was like Bill Barr. I mean, he wasn't Secretary of Defense, but Bill Barr, like we were so stoked on Bill Barr or James Mattis. Everybody's stoked on them. Total betrayers. And Matt Gaetz, he's got an axe to grind in the direction we want it ground, which is going after the enemies. And it's amazing to me that the one thing they're freaking out about is they're like, he's going to use the justice system to go after people. And they say it as if they totally forgot that that's what they've been doing up to this moment, and probably right up to the moment that Trump takes power, and then secretly behind the scenes, even while he's president.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only have they weaponized the government since Trump's been out of office, but while he was running, they were running that crossfire hurricane. You got Peter Strzok saying in August before the election of 2016, no, we'll stop him. He's a senior FBI official saying we're going to stop him when he's tweeting or when he's texting his paramour, as they say. So the idea that you need to be, what are the qualifications? I mean, Matt Gaetz has been sitting on the House Judiciary Committee since he's been there. He is a lawyer. He went to William and Mary. I mean, the guy's a lawyer. The guy is a politician, and he's had security clearance, and he's seen a lot of stuff up there, and he's ruthless. He's absolutely ruthless, that's what we need. Don't you want that when you're going after criminals? You want somebody who's ruthless, right?
There's a 3-word rule that they want when they say qualified. It's play the game. That's what the swamp wants. They want you to play the game.
Yep.
Anybody that won't play the game, they don't want in the game. And Donald Trump's he's like coming to the table and he's going to flip the whole thing over.
Right. Right.
There is no game except for what he puts back on the table at that point.
That's right. That's right.
And folks, great time to be alive.
It is. And folks, to remind you, the game we play here is the comment game. So put your comments in the Facebook chat, Rumble chat. Where can we pull comments from? Are they coming in from Rumble? Where are they coming in? We can pull chats from everywhere, right?
They'll come in from X, Rumble, Facebook, and
all right,
YouTube.
all over. Great.
Yeah, they'll come in from everywhere.
Great.
And
so wherever you're at,
say something pithy,
okay, good.
Bill O'Reilly style, we'll put it up there.
Okay, well, let's get to this first clip. We posted this on X on WorldNet Daily. 16 great picks so far, and this one talks about Matt Gaetz a little bit. Let's play this clip.
9 days ago, President Trump received a resounding mandate from the American people, a once-in-a-generation mandate for change. Throughout this entire campaign, the American people made it clear they were sick and tired of the status quo from the Harris-Biden administration. They wanted a new direction for this country, and they chose President Trump to put America first. He has rolled out 16 fantastic picks over the past 9 days, and Matt Gaetz is one of those picks. I know Matt personally. He is a great person. He's a man of integrity. He also is a brilliant litigator. He served on the House Judiciary Committee for 8 years. Anyone who has watched him in those hearings knows that he's incredibly impressive. And like President Trump, Matt Gaetz has been a victim of the weaponized Department of Justice. And one of the promises President Trump made to the American people was to root out the corruption at the DOJ. We have seen this agency turn against the American people because of their political beliefs. Matt Gaetz and President Trump are going to put an end to that, and that's what the American people want. That's why they elected him. So what do you
Oh, wow. She's on fire. Is she going to be the press secretary herself?
She could be, right? She absolutely could be. Yeah, there's it's just like it's a weird time, you know. It's like some kind of, you know, a schoolyard scene where we're going to pick teams, but like half of the school is special education, and then there's like this group of studs that everybody that was there is just, they're so defunct, and now we're going to bring in anyone that's going to be exciting or just outside the box. It's such a great time to be alive. Like, you know, we've all suffered under the regime of you know, you need to be certified, you have to be educated through the indoctrination system, and that seems to be being utterly changed with Trump saying, I'm going to pick whoever I want based on this really original concept called loyalty.
Loyalty, and also vetting from the people. I mean, if Matt Gaetz was hated, if he was so hated and such a bad litigator or just a bad guy in general, he would not have the support that he has had over the years. I mean, the guy has so much support among the grassroots.
Yeah.
And he's one of the very few people in Congress that has said no to lobby money.
Right.
You know, he's always run his campaign from a grassroots perspective. One of the things also, Josh, that happened while we were off the air yesterday was Trump announced RFK as the head of HHS.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, here it is.
So
If it's
he
not
did
on-
it, Matt. He did it.
This was one of the things that people were saying, I don't think he's going to do that. Even RFK's supporters said, well, I think this is just a ploy. But no, he did it. Here it comes. And they are freaking out. This means he's also the head of the CDC, the NIH. He gets to call the shots at all these places. The one person that I think is shaking in their boots right now.
Fauci.
Oh, the Fauci man.
Ouch.
I mean, and he should be, man. He should be shaking in his boots. So that's great. Trump last night congratulated RFK. I think we have a clip of that. Let's check that out.
I guess if you like health and if you like people that live a long time, it's the most important position. RFK Jr. Bobby? Good. And I just looked at the news reports. People like you, Bobby. Don't get too popular, Bobby. Oh. You know, you've reached about the level. Now, we want you to come up with things and ideas and what you've been talking about for a long time, and I think you're going to do some unbelievable thing. Nobody's going to be able to do it like you, and boy, does he feel it in his heart. So congratulations also to your family.
Man, just so genuine.
Matt, what a time. So man, I think about this, dude, like, you know, Trump was still is a competitive person in the past. You could get in trouble by, you know, trying to be at his level of popularity, but that's not this Trump anymore.
Right.
This is like a teamwork Trump that we've never seen. I mean, that just goes to show, right? People are not static. People can change for the better. Trump just keeps getting better. Well, we have a clip about that later where he's getting to the point now where, I mean, he's in the history books.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
And just as a comment to RFK, I remember like just thinking that everything that we normally do, all the food we normally eat is perfectly fine. Now we know that it's horrible for us. It's giving all this chronic disease. I'm hoping that there will be like some kind of lower cost alternative. You know, it's not cheap to like go eat at Whole Foods or something. It's pretty expensive. Right. But this is like a new country, man. Like, and it came from the right. You know, everybody I knew that was super crunchy granola healthy person was also a hardcore lefty, and we just took that away from them too. It's kind of beautiful.
So true. Yeah. Well, I somehow missed this during the campaign, but when RFK was out there, he told this quick little story about what he's been praying for. Let's watch this.
I started working on this issue 19 years ago. And for 19 years, I have got every morning, without one exception, I have said a prayer to God to put me in a position where I could end the chronic disease epidemic. And on August 23rd of this year, God sent me Donald J. Trump.
Pretty powerful stuff there for a guy like that.
All these like former liberals talking about God and destiny. Amazing.
Something's at work, man.
Freaking great, man.
Benny Johnson found that over on X, so be sure to follow Benny if you don't already. He's got millions of followers. You know, one of the things so what was happening last night? That earlier Trump clip that we saw was happening at Mar-a-Lago. There was an event happening at Mar-a-Lago, and so we've got a couple of clips from last night because it seemed like a great party. And Sylvester Stallone was there, and he introduced Trump. and gave him this accolade.
We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations! But
very good. He then goes on to introduce Trump and so forth. So, but yeah, again, more powerful words from one of the greatest screenwriters in Hollywood there. Sylvester Stallone knows a good story.
We got Rocky now too, Matt. We got Rocky. Awesome.
Dude, you're right. What's going on? Rocky, Hulk Hogan.
80s all over again, dude. And for those of you who don't know, there might be some young people watching. The 80s was an amazing time to be alive. I was young.
Yeah.
And it was so good that the echo of the Ronald Reagan success, it went all the way into the early 2000s. The 90s was incredible too. And
that's so true.
Maybe we'll have a return of that, a resurgence of that time.
Yeah, that's the hope there. Well, another Gen Xer that's feeling that is Elon Musk. So he was there last night at Mar-a-Lago, and he talked about this being a revolution. Let's watch this.
The people have spoken. The people want change. I think this is going to be the most transformative presidency, perhaps since the founding of the country. And President Trump is picking the cabinet to do it. You can see the choices are people who are actually going to make change. It's not going to be business as usual. We're going to shake things up. It's going to be a revolution. And so we're headed towards, I think, a fantastic future. I'm super excited. I look forward to experiencing that with everyone. Thank you.
I'm telling you, John. Yeah, I mean, this is, it's so exciting to see if this really does happen. I mean, once again, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for my wife to need me in the back and wake me up from this dream. But if this is really happening, and January 20th comes, and Trump is sworn into office, and all of these people get to work, I mean, don't think for one second that the left and the deep state is not going to thrash their tail and try to sabotage on the way out, or play nice only to sabotage later. I mean, there's gonna be heads need to be on a swivel, as they say, right?
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, absolutely. Plus, I think I saw Roger Stone went on maybe with Alex Jones or something like that, and he was saying like the scariest moment is between now and November 20th.
January 20th, yeah.
Sorry, January 20th. All of the assassination is the scariest thing, Also, this is kind of random, but I spoke to someone last night, and they told me that there is to do any kind of protest in Washington D.C. other than an Antifa protest, which you can do anytime you want as long as Trump is in office. You have to have a permit. So there's been a permit pulled for January 18th. So we're watching that very closely, Matt. They kind of always, the left, keep that date for climate change protest or whatever. But that may likely be a giant protest. We'll watch for that by the left. And, you can imagine that it would essentially, they have no reason to not burn DC as it's an outgoing president. They don't want Trump coming in. So that's when people could arrive officially. And
so you're saying they generally have like a standing reservation for January 18th?
Yep. There's a standing reservation for people, left-leaning groups to be at the Capitol legally on the 18th. So we're watching that really closely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know producer Kira is booking her flight, going to be out there for 3 days. right? Is that what's going on?
Oh, well, we're still waiting to see what's going to go. We're going to try to cover everything.
All right, good.
Everything we can cover, we will try to be there.
She needs to be embedded with Antifa. That's what we need. War correspondent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to continue the fun here, though, I'm wondering if what's his name? What's his name down in Argentina? He was at Mar-a-Lago last night.
Yeah.
That's right, Javier Milei, and everybody's doing the dance. Josh,
dude, you got to. He forgot that Trump's added the golf swing, at the end.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. There's a great compilation of like athletes.
Yeah, doing it.
Football players doing it now. I mean, Josh, this is a cultural phenomenon. It's a cultural phenomenon.
I know.
And it really makes me sad that a lot of our family and friends who are suffering from TDS, they refuse to partake in it. They've refused. They're just refusing to partake in any of this. And the best part about it is it's also like when the Macarena was big, people took that seriously. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're doing the Macarena," and now we kind of laugh at it. Like as soon as YMCA was a thing for Trump, it was always laughable because it was just like, this is so random. This is so weird, but it's the fun, it's
it's going to be all the rage this year at all the weddings. You got to do a Trump,
and that's the thing. Like I have personal opinion here. I have hated that song forever. Like I've never liked that song ever. I hate it at weddings. I hate it at weddings and everything. Yeah. But it's pure joy, pure joy, and it goes all the way down to Argentina.
Feels like victory.
Oh boy, Josh, you're gonna have to help me. You're gonna have to help me with this next image here. I got to get my glasses for this one because I am not. I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. This is what now America on X is Elon's PAC, and they are going to be following this government efficiency. The Doge, right? The Department of Government Efficiency. And this is where they just selected about $900 billion worth of waste and kind of broke it out here. And some of these things, I don't even understand what they mean. What stands out to you here?
Okay. I mean, so let's see. Can everybody see? We'll zoom in.
That didn't do anything.
Doll photo used to get COVID PPP funds.
There we go.
Does that say 800 million? No.
A portion of 800.
A portion
billion.
of
and that's
800 billion.
Yeah.
That's not even a real number, Matt.
But what is this? Dr. Fauci's monkey business on NIH's Monkey Island. 33 million.
Yeah, I also just read of a study being done to the monkeys on Monkey Island to see if you could transgender a monkey through hormone therapy.
Wow.
And obviously we've proven that you can transition tons of monkeys with hormones.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff to monkeys. There's the meth head down below there, the NIH's meth head monkeys, a portion of 12 million spent for that.
That's kind of weird, Matt, because those are real experiments going on the streets of places like San Francisco now. So
that's true. They could just go out there and do that. Yeah,
secret island. Yeah, I mean, this is just indicative
of a monkey
of
casino.
So wasted.
Oh, there's your transgender monkey study.
Yeah.
477,000.
900 billion, guys. No big deal. That's no big deal. That's only that's like what? That's 800 million more than what we sent to Ukraine. So cool.
And that's another scandal that broke yesterday. Anthony Blinken's saying something, and I know we don't have this clip, but Anthony Blinken saying we're going to spend every available dollar over to Ukraine before January 20th. I don't know what every available.
Oh, great.
Means, but
great. Like,
yeah,
it's been so effective that up to date, just it's been really great at killing the male population of Ukraine.
Yeah. It's
cool.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, there might be a little bit of silver lining to the Senate majority pick because John Thune was on was on, I don't know if he was on Fox or one of the networks here, and said these words. Let's show this clip.
So you've said that you would do recess appointments if it came to that. What's the threshold for getting to that point for recess appointments?
Well, what I said is, Brett, and I think this is that all options are on the table, including recess appointments. Hopefully it doesn't get to that, but we'll find out fairly quickly whether the Democrats want to play ball or not. And I think part of it is getting these folks. We'll start having confirmation hearings as soon as the new Senate is sworn in January. President takes the oath of office January 20th. By the time he takes the oath of office, hopefully a lot of those nominees will be through their confirmation hearings and will be ready to act on them on the Senate floor. And then it's a question of how much do the Democrats resist or object or try to block those nominations from going forward. And we're going to grind them out. I mean, we're just going to keep consistently moving, and we'll see what kind of cooperation we get. And then we'll, like I said, we'll make decisions about where do we go from there.
What do you think, Josh? You think Thune's the guy? Is he our guy?
Yeah, anybody that's willing to fight is our guy. As long as they keep that up, as long as they stay loyal to that plan of getting everybody approved. Yeah, absolutely. Because that's where everyone thinks things are going to get bogged down is the confirmation side.
Right. And just to make it clear what a recess appointment is when the Senate or the Congress go to recess and they go home for a period of time, they're in recess, the president can appoint whoever he wants, and that person becomes the acting head of whatever department, and they can stay there for as long as 2 years without being confirmed by the Senate. But hopefully we won't have to go through that, and they can just get through this as quickly as possible. So
when do they recess next, Matt?
I mean, they could recess at any point, but I mean, it won't happen until Trump is president. So if they recess in the spring, or if they recess, I remember there was a fight where they said, isn't a recess like they recess for the weekend, and so it could happen even in these short little periods of time. So it's all debatable, of course, when you're interpreting the Constitution and stuff like that. But I don't know. We'll definitely keep a handle on that. Josh, I hope you have your family all set up here for flu season.
I'm ready, dude.
Good. I know. And first disclaimer, the disclaimer here is Dr. Zelenko is a doctor, but neither I or Josh are not doctors. But so please consult. Please consult your own physician here. But you gotta go get yourself the Zelenko Protocol Emergency Medicine Kit. Scan the QR code. Use the promo code WND to get 5% off your own kit. And what's in this stuff, Josh? This stuff is good.
Yeah, I mean, the big one I did not know about until COVID era was quercetin. Quercetin is a really cool compound that takes down inflammation. And guys, do you remember the days? This is actually interesting, Matt. To me at least, with RFK Jr. coming in, are we going to still give people Dynatap and Theraflu, which are essentially just suppress your symptoms? They don't actually do anything to your body that helps it recover. But that's what the Zelenko protocol does. It gives your body the ingredients that bring down inflation. And when you bring down inflation, more white blood cells can be made. Like I said, the only thing I'm a doctor of is truth. But that's why you guys should get this. Click that QR code, get the 5% off with WND as the promo code. Yes. And it's a great product. We are seeing folks buy this one, so we really appreciate that. That keeps us on the air. And that's how we can bring you all these great jokes and mostly these hilarious clips from places like the Lincoln Project.
Oh, coming up. Coming up.
I'm teasing it, Matt.
No, it's so great. It's so great. I will say this, it's been 10 days since the election or on there or about. And I think the media has been taking it rather well. I think so.
I sense your sarcasm, Matt.
Just sit back and watch how they've been taking it.
Yeah.
Well, America, I hope you like measles. Thanks to all of you. This just in, President-elect Donald Trump has just announced a new name to be added to his incoming administration.
You're exactly right? He's just flooding the zone with shit to hope to get maybe other appointees down the line. Because they got to absorb these bunch of idiots, right, that are coming out right now.
Oh my God. I mean, those of us who have spent our lifetime, kind of decades working in and around in HHS, I'm not kidding, Nicole, my texts are flying off the chain, both Democrats and Republicans saying, this can't be real. Someone must have gotten this wrong. This can't be possible. And now the second underlying chain, if there's some silver linings, the second thought I had is he can't get confirmed, can he? But
I don't know what you want me to say. I am just at a loss because we're watching something happen in slow motion that is terrifying. You know, the reason we have a great country is because there are pillars in place. There are columns and structures, just like in your house, columns and pillars that you don't see. But they keep things in a good place. They keep things in a good direction. We have healthy children because there are people who've made sure that there are things in place for that. And right now we're seeing termites unleashed on everything. And this is a termite appointment. We know for sure that Bobby Kennedy is a vaccine denier. He's a vaccine denier. He denies being a denier.
This is the absolute triumph and takeover of the Republican Party by MAGA. And it will be the takeover of the U.S. government by MAGA if the Senate lets all of these people go through.
The popcorn. Matt, I like how you create the memes. It's my favorite. Don't enjoy it too much.
It's so salty.
I'm sorry, folks. These
tell me.
freaking idiots, they're so stupid. Their ivory tower crumbles below them. They don't know what to do. We, just like in our homes, have pillars that support the structures. And all of these NPCs are just, to see them suffer is very pleasurable. I don't know how else to say it.
It truly is. It truly is. And they are out of their mind. I mean, imagine Jake Tapper opening the segment. You like measles? You like measles, everybody? I mean, to just blanketly say that as if he was part of some sort of, text thread with your buddies. But like to just say that to millions of people watching, or the hundreds of thousands, or the 4 people watching. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. They have no respect. They completely dismiss everything that they say. I have tried to ask easy questions of people that I know on the other side of this equation here. I have sent them clips of RFK disputing the lies that they say, and they don't even respond to it anymore. It just washes over. It's like a glaze, and then the program just cycles through whatever response they're supposed to say next. They truly are an NPC, a non-playable character. They truly are.
Yeah, guys, can we find a quick picture of an NPC just so the audience knows what we're talking about? Another element too, Matt, I want to address with our audience, some of our older members of our audience is, like my parents, they received vaccines when they were kids. I think my mom got the measles, mumps, rubella. We did too, but that was like maybe 8 vaccines back then, and now on the schedule is it upwards of 60 or 80 for the kids now? 75.
Yeah.
Some kind of vaccination for the kid. And that's not including the COVID vaccine, which is not technically a vaccine. Okay, here's an image of an NPC, non-player character. The idea is that this is our education segment, Matt.
Yes.
Is that an NPC just repeats the talking points. Trump is a threat to our democracy. Okay, I know that CNN said it enough times that you can't not say it, but that's what an NPC is. That's what we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, on the other side, it's actually kind of sad because, we don't want people to just kind of live their delusion, but it's willful at this point. If they are, they're doing it.
Yeah, that's the hard part. And Paul, we always thank Paul for his comments, always dropping in some good comments.
Yeah.
There. I mean, we don't know about the secret Senate vote. Was it constitutional or not? I mean, those types of rules on how they conduct their own business, we don't know. That's up to them. So that being said, it is the people's house and the people's record, and we should know how they
absolutely.
They vote. But
yeah,
Yeah. But back to your point though, with these NPCs, like they when they latch on to a disparaging remark, they then just apply it to everybody they hate. It reminds me of another meme that says everybody I hate is Hitler, right? Or everybody I hate is a white supremacist. And that's what I don't know who this woman is, but she was on NBC. And this is her talking about the new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth.
Add the Secretary of Defense nominee, Peter Hegseth, the Fox News commentator as well, because this is someone who, weekend host, important distinction. This is someone who, is known to be a white supremacist, known to be an extremist, whose book is basically about his opposition to the advancement of black officers to the top brass.
I mean, can you sue for libel there?
I was literally thinking, Matt, that's libel. That's absolutely libel language.
Yeah.
And would need to be proven. You can't just say that. These people, they feel like they have license to do the things that we can't do. He's a white supremacist. So if you just went on and said this woman
a known
that woman is a known black supremacist, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah. So I had this quick little thing to say, Matt. Sorry I'm talking so much this show. Pete's latest book. One thing I wondered about this may have led the administration to picking him is in his latest book, he takes like a genuine analytical look at the military preparedness and how we would handle threats from China. And he didn't just make it all up. He spent about a year talking on the phone or meeting in private with actual military leaders to find out what is the status of the military abroad. So in a way, I didn't know this. I haven't heard anyone say this, but Pete gave himself an education that he would need to be Secretary of Defense by even writing the book.
Right.
And it's something that, that in a way, writing a book would be the equivalent, a well-researched book, as getting a doctorate in a certain thing. And in a way, he dove into getting a doctorate level understanding of what is facing our armed services, perfectly timed to be I would guess that knowledge is probably what won over the folks in the Trump campaign.
Well, and that probably explains why he was just the weekend host of Fox and Friends, because Monday through Friday he was working on all of this other stuff. So
he
literally thought that was a disparaging fact about him, but it's not.
She's just a black supremacist, so it doesn't really matter.
Very good. Well, the former CDC director thinks it's pretty scary that RFK, this vaccine skeptic, and I'm being friendly there. They call him much worse than that. But let's listen to what they said.
He was pushing things that are not true about vaccines, and being the HHS secretary, people trust you. You have a platform.
Yeah, the idea that receiving vaccines would be parental choice scares me. One of the things that we have in America is a contract between each other. And an important part of that in public health is vaccination. I vaccinate my children to protect them, but also to protect other people's children. Sending a child to school, you need to have that confidence that the child sitting next to them isn't going to give them measles or whooping cough because their parent decided that they didn't want to get their child vaccinated because they're hearing all of this misinformation. We count on it. What if that child had an immune problem and they're in there and their parent and their children who decided not to be vaccinated? We vaccinate our kids because we care about our children, our families, and our community.
I can't stand it.
These false premise arguments, man. Like almost everything that guy said was like name brand, right? Like anti-vax, misinformation. That guy is an example of the elite NPC. They can't speak in normal language. And when did this, the false premise here is you need to protect those around you. Don't kill grandma. We're talking about kids. And, we're learning gradually, as as the veil is being pulled back, that a lot of this stuff that we had kids doing was unnecessary for a large majority. And then there's like, oh, compromised kids. By the way, one way to be immune compromised is to get loaded full of vaccines that destroy your immunity.
And the other thing about vaccines too is that all that RFK I've seen him ask for is that these things just need to be tested. And if these things are unsafe and the pharmaceutical companies have immunity against liability for any of this stuff, that's wrong too. I mean, what kind of a world do we live in where we just let these major pharmaceutical companies off the hook by putting untested products into the market? I mean, there has to be and that's the reason why you see a lot of parents push back on this. They go, well, I'm seeing a correlation between a rise in this over here, and you're telling me it's not tested, and if it's not tested and something bad happens, I have no recourse I'm just going to sit this one out. So it's actually the pharmaceutical companies and the folks who are being paid by them in our government who are actually putting people at risk by not doing what is supposed to be the right thing, which is protect people from being taken advantage of. And because of that, and because of RFK's appointment, the stock market on the stocks on these companies have dropped tremendously. I know you want to say something, Josh, but
no, I love it.
Let's show the stocks here as you get as I let you go.
Look at that!
Look at that!
Looks like Kamala's approval. Looks like her. It looks like what her chart started to look like right toward the end there, just diving.
That's right.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is fantastic. They'll have less ad revenue to put on prop up every single news media outlet. Matt, what I was going to say was at the onset of that interview, he said it's scary to let parents choose.
Oh, exactly.
He literally said that, which if you think about it, like, I mean, to be fair, what do parents know about their own children? Let the state take care of them. As Hillary Clinton said, it takes the state village to vaccinate your kid. And then, if something goes wrong and they're medically injured, who's going to take care of them but the state? And then if things are not great for them and they just...
Good point, Bertie. Sorry, go ahead.
if their health starts to slip, you know what the state can help them with, just like in Canada? Releasing them from this life. And
it's very true.
I didn't see Bertie's comment. I was too busy.
Bertie was saying, how can the child you give the child next to you a disease if that other child's parent chose for them to be vaccinated?
Yeah, this logic has never made sense, right?
Yeah,
it's that one kid is going to give the vaccinated kids It's never made sense to me.
It doesn't. It still doesn't today. When it comes to all this unvaccinated stuff. Like I thought, if vaccines are safe, effective, and just foolproof, then what is everybody worried about? Then get yourself a vaccine. I guess they're just more worried about the child who isn't vaccinated. And just the parent is just neglecting them and such.
They're blue in the face for trying to explain this to us, and thankfully we know that this just doesn't make sense.
Right. And thankfully there's folks out there running the Lincoln Project. Does everybody remember the Lincoln Project?
these morons. So now the left wears the tinfoil hat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, get yourself and your family vaccinated while you still can. Seriously. I mean,
are they doctors? Is that a doctor organization?
All right. I mean, Matt, think about how opposite their idea of health is. So for instance, abortion is health care. Vaccines are health care. Like there's not much of a thought beyond that, right? Like it's not some vaccines are helpful to people. It's, blanket virtue of vaccines, blanket virtue of abortion, which is the vilest of all operations done to a human.
Well, the meltdown continues across the board. Andrew McCabe, who was he wasn't the head of the FBI, but he was right there near the top, maybe a deputy
Executive
director.
level.
Deputy director of the DOJ or the FBI, but he's shaking in his boots over the appointment of Matt Gaetz. Let's watch this.
I want to start with Matt Gaetz, who is potentially on track here to lead the agency that includes the FBI, where you spent so much of your professional life. What are the implications of having Matt Gaetz as Attorney General?
Good morning, Casey. There are so many things that kind of jump out to you when you hear that the prospect of that nomination. But I think the first thing that really impresses me is what it says about Donald Trump's intention for the Justice Department and the FBI. Now, Matt Gaetz is obviously wholly unqualified for this job. He's someone who, I mean, quite frankly, couldn't get hired by the FBI if he was, had he ever been interested in that, which I'm sure he never was. Probably couldn't qualify for a clearance. Matt Gaetz has, by his own statement, some of those you just played, no interest in the FBI or the Department of Justice, no respect for the work that they do or for the people that do that work. He is singularly a disruptor. He is someone who's been selected because of his interest and desire to go into the organization and tear things apart, likely get rid of people, stop doing a lot of the work that the Justice Department is currently doing. And that is just, we've spent a lot of months debating whether or not Donald Trump actually means the things he says about the Department of Justice and the FBI, whether he's actually going to try to really dismantle those organizations in a serious way. I think the selection of Matt Gaetz is a clear indication of how squarely he intends to do that.
Andrew McCain, you had me at good morning. I mean, Trump wants to disrupt the Department of Justice.
He looks like there you go, Matt. He looks like a bad guy in like one of the movies where Clear and Present Danger or something, where the CIA is full of like these political scumbags that'll do anything to protect themselves. That's what he looks like. That's kind of what he's turned out to be. He's like this archetypal, for the system, but all he's ever really done has been a part of it to literally go against the commander in chief and try to take out a duly elected president through political maneuvering garbage. So
yeah.
Hopefully he gets taken out as well, like the garbage.
I mean, and that's the big question, right? We talked about this earlier before we got on the air. Like, how many of these people are actually going to get what they deserve?
They deserve, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about the crimes that they committed, the weapon is the actual weaponization to go after Trump before he was elected and then continue it afterwards and disrupt his entire first term. Somebody has to pay for that.
Yeah, and I heard some commentary. I think it was again from Roger Stone. It's it's not going to be the reverse, using the justice system against people unjustly. It's going to be the justice system as it was intended to work. So if you use the justice system unjustly, it has a reprisal for you, and that's what should take place. And it's just called the law. I love the left likes to act like we don't have laws, like the border and how it works. We have laws on the books, and we can follow them maybe for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah, for the first time in 4 years or forever. The Tulsi Gabbard and Gaetz appointments have really upset John Bolton. And real quick, producer Kira over here, she tweeted this. She posted this on X. This great image of John Bolton and who he really is with his mustache. Do we have that?
Yeah,
that is so great.
Wouldn't Trump call that his stupid white mustache?
Yeah, stupid white mustache. Yeah. Well, we have a clip here. We have a clip here of John Bolton going absolutely ballistic over these appointments. And then just to remind everybody, then we have right after this clip, we're going to show Trump and what he thinks of Bolton and what he actually used him for. So sit back and watch this.
Well, I thought it was the worst cabinet level appointment in history until they then heard about the Matt Gaetz appointment. Really, my reaction was that this is like the legend of Caligula, the Roman emperor, who wanted to nominate his horse as a Roman consul. You had to be a Roman senator at the time to be a consul, and it was intended to show how demeaned and degraded the Roman Senate had become. So now we're going to see whether the American Senate can stand up and reject two people who are totally unqualified, unfit professionally, and really lacking in the moral characteristics, the character that you need to hold these jobs. I think this vote should be 100-0 against both of them.
Bolton, a real dope, but I thought he'd be great because he was so stupid. He was like a boiler. Every time, if somebody shot down a little tiny crappy drone that cost about $15, he'd want to go to war with Russia. I said, no, I think he was great for me, though, for a period of time because he was a nut job, and everybody, I could see his face get red with that stupid white mustache. And he'd be ready to explode. And this was good for me. I went to Kim Jong-un in North Korea. I took this moron with me, and he never said anything. But when Kim Jong-un saw him, he said, oh, shit, I think the guy wants to go to war. So he was great for me to negotiate with. The same thing with Russia. You know, when Putin saw him, I'd be very nice. I'd say, hi, Vladimir, how you doing? And then Putin's, 2 rows back, and it'd see that moron, and it'd say, holy shit, this guy wants to go to war with me.
I mean, that is so good. It's so good.
Let's bring back the word dope. He's
a real dope.
He's a real dope. Such a good word. This is some kind of justice, right? Because like Bolton is, for a large portion of America now, is being revealed as a dope, as Trump would say, but a warmonger. He's not going to do the fighting himself. And it's disrespectful to this man who wants power and wants respect. And so what's he do? He's going to go to the other side at CNN. They don't like him over there. You know what I mean? They never liked him. So, fade out into obscurity would be just great for him and his mustache.
Yeah, and you know what struck me when I was watching that is that these are the same people. Him, Brennan, Jake Tapper, Wolf Blitzer. I mean, all the mouthpieces like Andrew McCabe. Like these are the people that have been around forever.
Yeah,
and they really, and when you think about Operation Mockingbird and the way that the CIA was, putting out everybody who was at the CIA, running the CIA, has a standing invitation on all these networks.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the same people over and over and over again. And you kind of wonder at some point, are you like, is there going to be anybody fresh? I mean, John Fetterman, God bless that guy, the senator out of Pennsylvania who wears the hoodie. Like it's almost like Democrats like that. Like that's the kind of guy you need, I can't believe I'm saying it, but he calls balls and strikes. The Young Turk people, like they're out there going, wow, what, who are these people? And there really is a big difference between the elite class and the propagandists that have been pushing this stuff on us for 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, all the way back to 9/11, I would imagine.
That's
incredible.
It went into overdrive in 9/11. Hey, guys, pull up that comment real quick for Braveheart's Beard Studios. Bring back the word dope.
We
are all dopey people. George Carlin.
Yeah, the great George Carlin. That's great. Very good. All right. Well, let's sum this all up. We're going to sum this all up with Megyn Kelly. She had this very short but effective description of not only Gates, but I think of everybody.
If you are Donald Trump and your chosen attorney general has turned you over to Robert Mueller, who then ruined your first term as president with a bunch of bullshit, then you leave office and the next guy's attorney general is behind not one, but 2 criminal prosecutions of you, and his DOJ is cooperating with not one, but 2 state prosecutions of you in a bridge that's never been crossed in our 250-year history as a nation, then I, too, might prize loyalty to me above all other qualities and go with a guy like Matt Gaetz. Who can blame Trump for trying to pick the most loyal soldier he can find for this position?
It's so true. It's so true. It's a war. It's a war that's going on with the deep state, and you need loyalty.
Also, Matt, like loyalty doesn't make sense to the deep state. They don't understand that. They understand having leverage over each other, and that equals loyalty. This is true. Trump is saying, "Who will stand with me?"
Right.
And he believes that Matt Gaetz is that person. And it looks like they've made the right decision. You know, okay, random thought here, okay? Sorry for all the talking this episode. Random thought. We don't get this kind of wisdom from Trump without the loss in 2020. I've been thinking about that a lot.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had the time to bring all of these new experts in, see the loyalty, right, of the last 4 years toward him. It's kind of, I don't know, Matt, you might call it providence. I think you could call it providence. It's pretty amazing.
So. Yeah, something definitely is at work here. And when you think about all the things that led to these events, like you just laid out, and even beforehand, it's pretty remarkable to be in this position. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be prepared for whatever's coming, right, Josh? What do we got here? We got this beautiful shot of this.
Let me just pull that up real quick. I mean, you want to see my beauty over here, folks?
Yeah,
here we go.
Let's see.
Look at this. There we go. Okay. My Vanna White hands.
Now, folks, this is the Kung Fu grip from Difrico.
I'm going to grab it. There you go.
There it is. Yeah.
See how my finger's not on the trigger, people? But there you go. Yeah, this thing's awesome. We're this, you know, we want you to be healthy and defend yourself from viruses and anything else with the Kung Fu grip, which we love. This is on my personal rifle, which just happens to sit on the desk here every time we do the show. And this thing's awesome. It's super lightweight. It's really inexpensive for what it is too. It's like $20.
Yeah.
We'd love you to go get one from the guys over at Difrico. They're super cool. And I think they have a new thing that's cool. You can buy an additional, like they call it a plug. Plugs into the bottom. You can store batteries for your optics. Anybody out there that's into guns will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, we love these guys. I have the black one. You can see that on my rifle. I'm going to get that tan one too. Matt, did you get one? I think you were going to get one, huh?
Oh yeah, I got one. I got one of every color. So
fantastic.
They make great stocking stuffers.
Guys, if you've loved the show, I really appreciate it. Matt appreciates it. We work hard on the show to make it great. And if you can sponsor or go to our sponsors and buy something, that helps us stay on the show. And that's how I look so great with my makeup every day.
Yeah. And these are things that are actually like useful. Like these are practical things. This isn't
absolutely.
This isn't like just some like beauty product or something, right? Like this is practical. You got your emergency kit, you got your medical kit, and now you can fill out your AR kit with a Kung Fu grip.
Yeah. We're not trying to sell you a pillow, but we might if if that sponsorship comes through.
Yeah. I'm not saying it until he's here, but yes. Very good. All right. Well, we're pretty convinced that this show is going to be banned off of YouTube within the next 20 minutes or so, as soon as the algorithm figures out what we were talking about. But that being said, we know the folks over on Rumble. There's great folks over on Rumble. So if you're not over there, head over to Rumble. Subscribe, hit the alert button there, and follow us on. It's WND Newsroom. That's it right there. You can see it at the top of the app right there. WND Newsroom, WorldNet Deal.
You know, I spoke to an older gentleman last night, and he told me that. Oh, I just happen to have this here. Don't worry about this, okay? Don't worry about this. He told me that a lot of folks won't subscribe because they think it's not free, or they think it costs something, but it doesn't cost anything, guys, to subscribe over at Rumble. We'd love you to do that. Subscribe, and everybody says this. I guess it works. Hit like, and also make a comment if you like what you're seeing over there. If you think that I should wear a wig or anything, or like I need to grow hair out like Matt, we'd love you to comment. And of course, I'm just going to hold the gun at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's good.
But also, this is the part where we talk about where you follow us. It's really important that you follow us on as many accounts as you can. If you follow us on Facebook, we appreciate it. But X, Instagram, our Instagram is, as the kids say, fire. It has a lot of great content over there. So does our X. Our X is news, entertainment. You're going to see on Instagram, entertaining news about what's going on, pop culture news. We're offering a lot. And of course, the mothership is worldnetdaily.com is where everything breaks. Actual real stories over there. Go ahead, Matt.
Actual real stories.
Real stories.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, do we have Joe on this week? Was he here on Monday, perhaps? Joe Kovacs. But
we haven't had Joe on yet.
Yeah.
Monday you did. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday we did. Yeah. But honestly, like the work that goes on over at WND.com on a daily basis, like it's a bookmark. It's like not the new. They've been around longer than Drudge, or just as long as Drudge. But it's definitely one of those like refresh the front page to see what's coming out over at worldnetdaily.com.
And it's real news. They actually care about the news. They're not just repeating narratives. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right, great. Well, we'll be back here on Monday for another week. I cannot wait to see what comes out today. I mean, the stuff might have happened while we were on the air, but what do you got,
Matt?
We're in bonus time right now. Look at this.
True Matt Edwards on X.
Yes, True Matt Edwards on X. Yeah,
an excellent account. Matt actually talks about politics and Matt is very active in state and national politics. So if you want to follow great stuff over there, go to his X. And if you care about giants from the Bible, UFOs, guns, jets, I'm trying to think what else I'm covering, and the news, conservative news, over at Josh_Turnbow. And we appreciate you guys watching and making it this far.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, you got bonus time.
We got one more comment. I don't know what the comment is. Let's see if we can
see what it is.
It says buy a refrigerator in Nigeria. No, it doesn't say that. Nothing more triggering than. Oh no, we can't do that one. Hey, thanks for commenting, Juice Grape Kids, but not sure we can put that one up.
Yeah, well, you got to go over to the channels over there and see it there. So if you're on that channel, go. What was it on? Was it on Rumble? I'm gonna go check.
Yeah, Rumble, of course.
Yes. Of course it is. All right,
all
right, folks. Yeah, hold that out as we say goodbye. Have a great weekend. You got 2 extra minutes of bonus. You got a lot of extra minutes today, but we'll be back here on Monday. Take care, everybody. God bless.
Thanks, everybody.